We asked AI to predict the match card for WWE SummerSlam 2025. Let's talk about it. All right, Dylan, we're back at it with another AI video. We got AI predicting SummerSlam, which is the next of the big four PLEs for WWE, and I believe it is the second PLE away. We have Night of Champions, and then I think it's the one after that, not including main event.
Night of Champions happens, which, I mean, I'd be very shocked if it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Not the best call to send.
Probably shouldn't happen there.
Yeah, but above our pay grade. That's so.
Well above our pay grade. So
we'll do predictions nonetheless if it does.
Yeah, so
I would say 99% chance.
Oh, big time. And I saw somebody say, I don't know who it was. It may have been someone saying it that Meltzer said it, but it was they would pay like $50 million if they didn't hold it there.
Bro, they're going.
So they love money. So let's get started, Dylan, because we've got a few matches here that we're going to get into. We got two nights. So to kick us off, we're going to start with night one. And if you don't know, SummerSlam is Saturday, August 2nd and Sunday, August 3rd. And this is the first time they're doing it as a two-night event. So, kicking us off with night one, Dylan, we have the Intercontinental Championship is on the line, and that's going to be your champion, Dominik Mysterio, defending his title against Finn Balor. A heated rematch after the WrestleMania showdown with AJ Styles, possibly stirring the pot. Dylan, how do you feel about Dirty Dom versus Finn Balor?
This is fun. I like this a lot. I'll tell you what. I wouldn't be shocked if this was a non-title match. And I wouldn't be shocked if Finn helps AJ beat Dom at Night of Champions. I wouldn't be surprised, especially with this Liv Morgan injury.
Sure.
With who knows exactly what the plans are, but it feels like they may do a thing where like Roxanne might join up with Raquel to take Liv's place, and then slowly Liv and Dom kind of get kicked out of the Judgment Day. We'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised if Finn helps AJ get the victory at Night of Champions.
Intentionally or unintentionally?
I didn't even think about unintentionally, honestly, but now that you say it, I think that's also very likely.
Like a fake unintentional? I tried to help you, but I actually ended up costing you, but that was really the plan all along.
Yeah, I just, maybe I was just too much wishful thinking, but I just love the idea of a Finn, AJ, JD, Raquel, and Roxanne faction.
Interesting. I could get behind that.
Yeah.
So,
like, I don't know, kind of like AJ and Finn coming together to form a WWE Bullet Club type vibe.
Yeah, I don't think we actually ever. I feel like they've teased it quite often in the past, but I don't think we've ever ended up getting it.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the Judgment Day, Dylan, we have the women's tag titles are going to be on the line, and that's going to be your women's tag team champions, which is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Morgan's injury may alter setups, but this tag title defense remains high on the card. Dylan, how do you feel about this matchup going down at SummerSlam?
I still think it's pretty likely that, like, I'm like 99% sure that Roxanne is going to take Liv's spot as a tag champ. Like, I'm so confident.
I feel pretty good about that also.
Yeah, so I'm really confident they're going to do that. So, I mean, and they want Charlotte and Alexa to be involved in some sort of way. So, I really don't think it's that unlikely, honestly. I think,
and they just did it with Bianca, Jade, and Naomi.
Yeah. Well, and I'm also just saying, like, the thing that I'm getting more hung up on is, like, if they're gonna have Alexa and Charlotte tag together, because it's like a random kind of thrown together team. But we've seen time and time again they love doing that in the women's division, and
they've had a bunch of interactions lately.
Yeah, and also that it's like I didn't even think about it, but now that it said this, I'm like, yeah, maybe that's what all their.
I could see it. I could see them teaming up. It's not the craziest idea.
No, 100%. I don't love the idea, but it's not out of the ordinary for it to happen at this point at all.
Agreed. So let's move on to our next match, Dylan, because that is going to be the WWE Women's Championship match. And that is going to be your champion, Tiffany Stratton, defending against Jade Cargill. After showcasing dominance, Jade's challenge for Stratton's championship becomes a marquee women's matchup. Dylan, how do we feel about Jade versus Tiff going down at SummerSlam?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about this, honestly. I feel like this is a pretty big. It's a matchup that we haven't had. Like it's a very fresh and new matchup. Two huge stars in the women's division that are still on the rise up to becoming main event caliber stars. Well, let me not say that. That's a very bad way to say that because they're both already main event caliber. But
sure.
And Tiff obviously is already in the main event, but they're cementing themselves as figureheads of this women's division moving forward. That's a much better way to say it. So I think this would be a great way to kind of cement that. And we mentioned it before. This is a match that we kind of talked about. We feel like Jade winning Queen of the Ring feels pretty good at this point.
Yep.
Feels like a pretty strong possibility. And of course, the winners of those matches are going for the women's championships at SummerSlam. So, yeah, I definitely think this is one that I feel pretty confident, if not the most confident about happening, to be honest. But I don't know if it mentioned this at all. I'm pretty confident Naomi's cashing in as soon as Jade Cargill beats Tiff for that championship. So,
okay,
I think it ends with Jade gets the win. Champ for a couple seconds, and then Naomi takes her out. And then we build on that feud.
Interesting.
Even more going forward.
So also, just for the people watching, we are recording this before Jade versus Roxanne on Monday Night Raw, so we don't really know who won that matchup. Although I will also just throw this out there. I think now with the Liv Morgan injury, as much as I do think they're probably just going to have her slide in to be tag team partners with Raquel, I could see them kind of pushing Roxanne winning this Queen of the Ring and then having her beat IYO and then having her be the women's world champ for when Liv Morgan comes back healthy, and then they can kind of get back to that. So I think that's at least worth mentioning. So, Dylan, let's move on because AI's been doing pretty good so far. Let's see how you think this match is. This is a United States Championship match, Dylan. You've got your champion, Jacob Fatu, defending against Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. With Fatu breaking away from Solo and Reigns expected to return for revenge, a triple threat could steal the show. How do you feel about Fatu versus Solo versus Roman at SummerSlam for the United States Championship?
I mean, listen, I'm all for it. Sounds awesome, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how likely it is. I don't know how likely it is that Roman ever wrestles for a mid-card title ever again.
0% chance.
With that being said,
this would be a fun story.
Well, and also with that being said, if he ever was to do it, I mean, I guess this would be where he does it, right? Like it would be a situation where a bloodline member has the title. Like it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's completely out of the. I wouldn't say it's completely out of the realm of possibility, but definitely lean more toward this being Solo versus Jacob straight up. I could see them going. So it's confirmed that we're getting that at Night of Champions. We're getting Solo versus Jacob.
Yep.
At Night of Champions. So I definitely wouldn't be surprised if we got some sort of tribal combat or something for the U.S. title at SummerSlam between those two to kind of end the feud there.
God. Solo versus Jacob in tribal combat would be so awesome.
Very sick. But, I mean, I won't count it out completely because, they love tying in all their bloodline members. So.
Boy, do they. So, let's move on to the main event of night one, Dylan, because this one is certainly interesting. You've got the World Heavyweight Championship match, which has your champion, Jey Uso, defending his title against none other than Kevin Owens. Following Jay's title win at WrestleMania from Gunther, a surprise heel turn or return of KO sets up this tough rematch. Dylan, Jey versus Kevin Owens for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam.
Say this is very unlikely. Kevin Owens is probably out for quite some time. Jey Uso is also not the World Heavyweight Champion anymore.
No, he's not.
So this is another example of AI not really being able to do the things that we can, right?
Yeah.
Just see that Jey Uso is no longer the champion.
Which is odd.
That being said, how would you be surprised if it's Jey versus Gunther again at SummerSlam?
Yeah.
I guess I would be pretty surprised too, but I wouldn't be as surprised as you may think.
Okay.
Not that I want it to happen.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. No,
it should not happen. Because that either means Jey will get buried by Gunther or Gunther will have a short title run. And neither of those things should happen.
Yeah.
So, all right, Dylan. Night one.
Probably the most unlikely we've had.
Yes. Considering one person isn't even the champ, the other is going to be out of action for the foreseeable future. But how do you feel about night one's card overall? I feel like it did pretty good besides the main event.
Yeah, pretty solid. Pretty solid. The Roman match, like I said, I think is pretty unlikely that Roman's wrestling for a mid-card title, but I really like the idea of it, and it would be super fun if it does happen. So it's not like I would be mad if it happened. I'd love it. I just don't think it will.
So they also gave us some other mid-card attractions, which would be a tag team match involving New Day, Usos, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed for tag gold, and then they also kind of just threw out a hypothetical Penta versus El Grande Americano.
I could see both of those. I can see definitely happening. I feel pretty strong about this going to be Usos versus New Day at SummerSlam.
I agree.
Legacy match.
I agree.
Reuniting of the New Days, not the New Day, of the Usos for official, you know what I mean? Official tag team action. But yeah, both those matches are a lot of fun. I don't know how likely they are. They both definitely have possibilities, but a lot of fun.
So let's move on to night two, Dylan, because this one is has some heaters, has some not heaters. So let's start off with the first match. It's going to be a non-title match between Randy Orton and Nick Aldis. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. I don't think it's very likely, but I think it would be fun. I think if they were going to do all this, they would have done it by now. I think they would have been doing it. But, like I said, I'm not going to be mad if I see Nick Aldis in a WWE ring. I think he probably should at least get one chance, right, to be in a WWE ring.
Probably more than one.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it at all. How likely is it to happen? Pretty unlikely, probably, but...
So I will say, I feel like every time we've wanted Nick Aldis to wrestle, it's been when they've had to pivot to him. So I think if they head into the PLE with Aldis being the plan, I think that does help them out because, like we say so many times, you can be in great shape, but being in ring shape is so much different, and it's hard to do when you have like a week or two's notice that you're going to wrestle for a match. So I think if they wanted to, I wouldn't be shocked if this happens, and I think it gives him time to prepare to get back into in-ring shape. So again, you guys let us know about these matches in the comments down below. Dylan, we've got quite the next match here because we have tag team action, and we have Cody Rhodes and Bad Bunny versus John Cena and Travis Scott. Music plus wrestling crossover match lights up the crowd.
God, I hope to God this doesn't happen.
But how likely is it?
No, I think it's pretty unlikely. I don't think this is going to happen.
Okay.
I think they're putting the WWE title is going to be on the line at SummerSlam.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
But I think this tag match has a decent chance of happening at some point.
It's interesting, nonetheless, but
I don't.
Not in a good way. But Travis Scott sucks. Travis Scott he sucks as a human.
Yeah.
I don't want him near wrestling.
Keep him away.
Keep him away from the one thing that
far away from me.
And I say that in a very exaggerated sense because, to be honest, much worse stuff and much worse people have been involved in this business than
sure,
Scott,
and are currently involved.
Yes, but still just keep him away.
Yeah, no need for it. No need for him to be around.
I feel very confident this is not happening.
All right.
I feel very confident Cena versus Cody 2 is happening at WrestleMania. Or not WrestleMania, SummerSlam.
All right, so the next match, Dylan, we have another U.S. title match. And this is going to be your champion, Jacob Fatu, defending against Solo Sikoa in tribal combat. If night 1 goes the other way, this fierce rivalry moves to night 2 in a no DQ tribal combat match. Dylan, are they pulling double duty here at SummerSlam?
No, definitely not. I like that they should just do this.
Yeah, this should be the match.
Thing would be sick, but it's just not going to happen, and it's like unrealistic. And it's also like, I don't know, Roman losing a match for the U.S. title then is like, yeah, no.
I also don't know what they mean by if the match on night 1 goes the other way.
Like, yeah, what does that mean?
I got nothing. I don't know AI. Do better.
But
yeah, this feels likely.
Yeah, this feels very likely. This could be a lot of fun, and I'd be very much looking forward to this. It'd be one of the matches I'm most excited for if it does happen.
Fully agree. So let's move on to the next match because we have the Women's World Championship match, Dylan, and that's going to be your champion, IYO SKY, defending her title against Rhea Ripley. Ripley's plan hints this title bout is locked in for night 2. IYO versus Rhea, SummerSlam, Dylan.
I could definitely see it happening. I feel like it main events Evolution though. Like that's my thing. So I don't know if they go back to it. But it's definitely on the table. It's not unlikely, and it would be a banger of a match if it happens. And it's obviously a big money match that they have planned at some point. I just think it's main event of Evolution.
I can get behind that. So let's move on to the next match, Dylan, because we have Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match. If Rollins cashes in and wins on night 1, Reigns versus Rollins inside the cell becomes the Sunday Stunfest. Roman versus Seth, Hell in a Cell, SummerSlam, Dylan.
I don't. The way they're getting there is so absurd. I guess the idea of them two being in a Hell in a Cell match at SummerSlam is not completely out of the question. With a rivalry like that, I think you can throw in a crazy stipulation at pretty much any time.
Yep.
And they're obviously in the heat of it, kind of, since Roman. The last time we saw Roman, right? So, I find it hard to believe Punk isn't somehow involved in this in some way.
Well, it's certainly interesting that you say that, because I'll tell you what, Punk is involved in our main event of night 2, Dylan. Okay. That's going to be for the undisputed WWE Championship. You have your champion John Cena versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Cena's final SummerSlam match, with Punk and Rollins creating massive drama and potential cash-in scenarios. Dylan, is this triple threat happening at SummerSlam?
So, I'll tell you this. I like it in a way that it's like kind of a callback to the triple threat between Lesnar, Cena, and Seth at Money in the Bank. Or not Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble. But Seth was Mr. Money in the Bank at the time.
Yeah.
So, I think there's a lot of fun that can be played on in that scenario. How likely is this to happen? I think pretty unlikely. I think that we're getting Cody versus Cena. I feel very confident of that.
Agreed.
Winner of the King of the Ring tournament goes on to face Cena or Gunther, I guess, for the title of their choosing. And that's going to be Randy, Cody, or Jey, I guess, because we have Cody versus Jey tonight.
Yeah. So that winner would have already been decided.
Yeah, but we both feel pretty good that
Cody's going to win.
Cody's winning the whole thing and then going to face Cena. So I think it's just another. They're just like, while we're at it, we can make Cody King of the Ring, give him another thing on his belt. Might as well do it.
Yeah.
I don't completely hate it. I don't love it, but we don't have to get into that. But yeah, I feel pretty confident that won't be the main event, and I feel pretty confident the main event will be Cena versus Cody.
I agree, especially because they are billing this as Cena versus Punk for the last time, so then you can't just go back to it at SummerSlam. So, Dill, how do you feel about night 2 overall?
Weird card.
Weird card indeed. It's weird because they'll put together some good matches, and then they'll put together Roman Reigns pulling double duty both nights.
Yeah, some of the stuff is just like the most unrealistic, and then the other stuff is not half bad. So it's very confusing. I think overall, let's give it a 6
out of 10.
6 out of 10 for the. We'll give it a 5 out of 10, actually.
Okay. All right, you guys let us know how you thought AI did in the comments down below. Make sure to smash that subscribe button for so you never miss when we upload a video, and click that bell so you get notified, Dylan, every time that we upload a video. With that being said, I'm Mark Izzo, he's Dylan O'Brien, and we'll catch you in the next video.